So what I'm doing in here is to tie some sort of string onto the center of the crown, and we use this for our workshop pitch. Bing, something very clever. It's a child's toy, but you can have a string with scissors or some sort of weight in here. Ready? When we raise the crown, what we're trying to do is to have that center on the center on here. This is a reasonably small yurt, so it's very easy. We don't really need it. But if you have a very big yurt, you're going to need it. So now we're gonna raise the crown, okay? Like that. So if you go there,
The marking is on that side, so
it's marking on that side, okay? Like that. So if you hold both of them, like that. So this is more or less center. Now we're going to put the first 4 roof poles. It's very important that, assuming the door is at 6 o'clock, I'm going to put the first roof pole next to the door, yeah, slightly before 6 o'clock for this example. And then, but imagine 6 o'clock, and then you put one right opposite the 6 o'clock, which is at 12. And then you put at 3 o'clock and then 9 o'clock. So this, you get similar pressure. Alright, now we're gonna put the first roof poles on. Come here, closer here. Deja la puerta cerrada, vale, cuando pueda. In here. If you see here, the roof poles, the hole on the crown, yeah? In here, we want this to be the center where the door is. For this year, there are 3 roof poles above the door. So 1, 2, 3. We're not going to fill that one. We're going to fill this one, okay? Which is these poles in here. Yeah? So, outside, inside. What you do is you hook it onto the inside and then twist clockwise. Right. Now we know this pole is correct. We want it where it needs to be. I'm going to go roughly right opposite there to put another roof poles on. And in here, it would be just an estimate. But for this year, right, you can see from the crown, this hole in here is the center more or less. I'm gonna use the center of here more or less. So what I do is I put this in, and then what I do is I follow where the roof pole is telling me. Does it want to go to the left or right? Yeah, I'm just following where it wants to guide me. So I'm not very strong. So what I do is I use this part of my hand and I press it with my body. Yeah, and then inside, and then you twist. Now we have 2 roof poles on. This is an estimate, okay? And then the next one, we're gonna put on this one. This is also an estimate. There. And then it wants to be here. I'm just following where the roof pole is telling me. Okay? There. And then I go to the next one. Push it in. And then it wants to be here. So it's good that you have to press, yeah? It's very good you have to press because this works with tension. Like that. There you go. Now you have 4. After you have these 4, remember the first roof pole is where you want it to be. The second, the third, and the fourth is an estimate. So you want to work from where you know for sure, right? This is exactly where you want it to be. Now you start working with gaps, okay? We know there are 3 in here. This is a smaller yurt, so it's a lot faster and easier. So I'm gonna leave 3 gaps and then put in here. So 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th in here. Okay? So I put that on. And then here it's very easy to count, but if you have a bigger yurt, you want to have a gap of maybe 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a gap. In here you can see already, right? This 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in here, but in the crown there are 5 gaps. Therefore this is wrong. So we need to fix this one. This is what it's for. That's why it's very important that you start working, counting from where you want the pole to be. There, now I'm counting. There are 2 in here, 3, and then this is the 4th. 1, 2, 3, and then this is the 4th. See that? And then there are 1, 2 gaps, and then there are 3 in there. So I need to fix this one. Bring it there. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna have 3 gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3. And then there's 4 in there, so I'm gonna move this one here. Okay, and I know there are 2 on here, but I'm not gonna start from here. There's this to start from where the door, the main one, where you know this is correct. Sometimes you make mistake. You see, this is why you have to start from here to there, from here to there, not from here and then going round to back to here again. Don't do that, okay? It's got to be from here to there until the middle at the back, from here to there until the middle at the back, right? So I'm gonna start from here again. 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be 3 gaps in there, and then the 4th. There you go. So 1, 2, 3. And there are 3 in there. So we are okay. Now the person who's holding the bagana can relax. When you have, right, the first 4 roof poles on, and then gaps of 4 or 5 holes on the crown all around the yurt, then you can all relax. And it's very important that the person who is inside the yurt are those who are working, putting the roof poles on. Okay, not anybody can stay in here. What happens is you risk the roof poles falling down. Now, what we're gonna do is to put the roof poles above the door. If you have a yurt with a series of doors and windows, it is best to start putting the roof poles above the doors and windows, also with gaps. Yeah, gaps of 3 and 4, and that's the most important part, because in there the tension is a lot on the door and windows. So anyway, we're gonna put this on and then you'll see. I need a chair because I'm not high enough to get that.
아이고. 아이고.
So in here, you notice this is something with pins, yeah? So it's got D1 and then D2 and D3. You can see on here also. Yeah, number 3, number 2, number 1. So this one says D1. Therefore, what I do is I put the D1 on here, put that, and then put it on the pin like that. And then I put the D3 on the sides first. And then in here, look, it doesn't want to reach. Yeah? That's because when I was putting the roof poles on, the whole thing moved. So if you see the floor, the door has gone out already. So in here, right, when you're pitching the series of doors and windows,